What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome back to now week 5 of our NFL predictions of the regular season. So one quick note I just want to give to you guys before we jump straight into this. You guys can see we're currently sitting on the main menu of our franchise in Madden 19. So one thing I am deciding to do from now on every single week is I'm going to create a new franchise. So therefore it is going to be able to keep up to date with everything that is actually going on in the real life NFL. So it's actually going to keep up to date with the current records of the current teams in the NFL, as well as injuries and whatnot, as beforehand I was just going to the same franchise and simulating week after week. And there it was, I guess you could say, kind of getting unrealistic at that point, because like I was saying, some of the injuries of players like that have been actually injured in real life, they'd still be playing on the franchise in Madden 19, so that could have an effect on what Madden would actually predict to be the outcome of certain games and whatnot. So instead we're going to make a new franchise every single week, and I guess it's going to make it a little bit harder for us because like I said, it could make things more accurate for Madden 19 to predict these games. But as we go ahead and just take a quick look at the games from last week, as you guys are already seeing it on screen, heading into week number 4, we were both sitting with a 23-25 record. And after this week, we are still tied. However, we're actually above the 500 mark now, just by one game. We both correctly guessed 9 games, and we both got 6 wrong. So obviously that now puts us at a 32-31 record. So one game above 500, like I did say, and things are starting to go, trend upward. I'm so glad we're starting to actually get some more games correctly guessed than wrong, and we're actually above 500. However, I kind of want to start pulling ahead of Madden 19 in the record, man. So let's jump straight into our week number 5 games now. I can't believe it's already week 5 of the NFL season, man. It's just going by so fast. We obviously have our Thursday night game, which was the Colts taking on the Patriots. And guys, it's a revelation. I finally correctly guessed a Thursday night game. If this was a game to finally correctly pick the right team for a Thursday night game, this was it. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure everybody could have predicted that the Patriots were going to win this game. I mean, you guys can see my tweet on screen that I I do have proof. I did pick the Patriots. I mean, there was just so many factors. I mean, Gronk was questionable to play, but he did play. They got Edelman back. It's Tom Brady at home after, facing 2 losses in a row just a couple weeks ago or whatnot. And then the Colts just have so many injuries to their team, and they especially faced a lot more injuries in that game. It was just like, there was no way the Colts could win that game, and obviously that was the outcome. So finally, we snapped a streak. We were wrong on the first 4 Thursday night games of the year, and I finally guessed correctly for week number 5 here of our Thursday night game, saying that the Patriots were going to get the win. But now that, of course, leads us into today's games. And the first one up on the list, we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Buffalo Bills. And man, I did not expect at this point of the season the Titans to be a 3-1 team, which I still don't think they're really that good of a team, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I'm sitting on the NFL website right now, and it has the rankings for like the offense, defense, passing, and rushing for all these teams. And the Titans are currently 26th in the league in offense. They are 26th in passing and 15th in rushing. So I mean, like, their team is not that good. So how they're 3-1, I have no idea. But obviously the Bills are a much worse team. They're sitting at 1-3. But you know what? This is going to be my wild pick of the week, I think. I'm going to take the Bills, guys. I think I'm going to predict that this is the week that people start to realize the Titans are not that good of a team. There's no way they're going to go 4-1. And I think the Bills are going to get the upset victory here in week number 5. Now we have the Falcons and the Steelers. And again, these are 2 teams I really didn't expect to have these poor of records at this point either. Falcons sitting at 1-3. Steelers are 1-2-1. And I guess obviously that goes to blame on the fact that both of these teams' defenses are pretty terrible, to say the least. But I'm not really sure who I think is going to get the win here. I mean, I don't think the Falcons will go 1-4. But, I mean, I don't really think the Steelers are going to get their second win either here. So, I mean, you know what? I think I'm going to have to go Falcons here. Also, because obviously, most of you guys know I am a Ravens fan. So, I would love to see the Steelers continue to lose. But, yeah, I think I'm still going to go with the Falcons here. I think they're going to get finally going to get their second win of the season here. And they're going to make Pittsburgh go 1-3-1. Denver Broncos going to take on the New York Jets. And, guys, ever since that week 1 with Sam Darnold, man, I mean, it's just like, well, like, what happened? Was that first week a fluke? Because, I mean, like, how do you go prime time, your first game as a starter, as a rookie, going into Detroit Monday night, and, like, you do that to the Lions, and you just decimate them? And then after that, you can't get a win. You go 3 losses in a row, and your team is terrible. Your offense is terrible. And it's just, like, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I just don't understand how that can be a thing. But I think I'm actually going to go with the Jets this week. I'm going crazy with my picks, guys. I'm not going with the typical teams that you think would win. I think I'm going to go with the Jets at home here. I think they're finally going to get their second win of the season here. You know, Broncos started off hot, 2-0. They got those 2 losses back-to-back, so now they're sitting at 2-2. And I think one more week they're going to continue with those struggles, and I think they're going to fall to 2-3. I'm going to go one last week here. I'm picking Sam Darnold. If he doesn't get me a win here this week, I think I'm going to be done picking the Jets. Oh boy, this is going to be a good one. The Jags taking on the Chiefs. Jags 3-1, Chiefs are 4-0, and obviously the matchup here that everybody's going to be watching is Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. This is going to be crazy, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw like the press conferences between the two earlier this week, especially Ramsey. Ramsey was just, of course, being his typical like cockiness, attitude. And he was just like, well, let's get this straight. Tyreek Hill is a Pro Bowler as a return specialist, not a receiver. And it's just like he's just always throwing shots at everybody. And Ramsey is like, I am the top dog everywhere and anywhere that I go. And it's just like it's always funny to see. But I mean, like, do I really think that the Jags are going to get the win here? I mean, they're going to the Chiefs Stadium. I mean, like, between the battle of Tyreek and Ramsey, I think it'll be split pretty even. I mean, obviously, Tyreek is just ungodly fast, and I don't think Jalen's going to be able to keep up with him. I mean, obviously, Jalen's a really good coverage player, but going against a speedster like Tyreek, man, I mean, I just don't see it happening. I think it'll be, like, even and whatnot. I think, like, Tyreek will have a decent game, but, like, Ramsey's not going to shut him out. However, as for the winner of this game, oh, man, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Chiefs. I'm going to say they stay undefeated. They're going 5-0. A great divisional game here. We've got the Packers taking on the Lions, and I think this might be easy for me. I mean, usually Aaron Rodgers kind of owns the Lions, and I think that is going to continue here today. I think that A-Rod is going to get his team another win, even though they've got tons of injuries all over that team. The Lions, I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to be able to hold it down at home. I think they are going to go 1-4 on the season. Don't really need to waste a whole lot of time here, obviously. We've got my game now, my Baltimore Ravens, sitting at a proud 3-1. We are going to be going 4-1 after this week. Obviously, we are going to crush the Browns. We are not going to let the Browns beat us, man. I refuse. So, obviously, with our defense, which is just, we're sitting at number 2. We're the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL right now. No way that Browns offense is going to be able to do anything against us. Obviously, it'll still probably be a little bit of a close game because, usually when we play each other, it's a divisional game. Doesn't matter how bad the Browns are or how good the Ravens are. We always still play each other tough because it's a divisional game. But still, obviously, my team, we're coming out with the win. New York Giants sitting at 1-3, going to take on the Carolina Panthers, fresh off of their bye week, sitting at 2-1. And it actually says right now that the Panthers are first in the league in rushing, which is actually kind of crazy. So I think this one might be kind of easy. It's a simple choice here. We're going to go with the Panthers holding it down at home. They'll be 3-1 after this week. I mean, the Giants, their struggles continue to go on. And I mean, I think at this point, it's kind of stemming from Eli Manning. I mean, like, they have the pieces. They have receivers. They've got the running back. They've got, like, I mean, the defense is, I mean, it's actually a decent defense. It actually says they're currently 11th ranked defense in the league right now. So, I mean, like, I don't know. Obviously, I think the problems are starting to stem from Eli Manning at this point. So, obviously, I think Panthers are going to get the win here. Wow, the Dolphins and Bengals both are sitting at 3-1. Who predicted this? Nobody predicted this. I can't believe both these teams are 3-1 right now. And guys, I mean, obviously, I feel like, Cincinnati is capable of getting the win here at home. But obviously, being a Ravens fan, like, I have to pick against them. I don't want to see the Bengals to continue to win. So I'm going to go Miami here. I think they're going to get another win. They're going to go 4-1 on the season. And I just want to see Cincinnati lose. Okay, guys? It's just me being biased towards my own team and my division, okay? Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers, a divisional game. Raiders are 1-3. Chargers are 2-2. Both of these teams, well, actually, the Chargers are a decent team. The Raiders are, I mean, they just had a couple of struggles and whatnot so far up to this point. Wow, it actually says that the Raiders are second in the league in offense. How does that make any sense? But they're 1-3. I'm starting to think that the facts are wrong here on NFL.com. Anyways, I'm going to go Raiders here, okay? I'm thinking that, usually any division in the league, whenever there's a divisional game is what I'm trying to say, the teams always play each other tough. And I think this week, the Raiders, they're in desperate need of a win, and this would be a big one for them, traveling to Los Angeles, and they are going to beat the Chargers. Speaking of divisional games, we've got another one here, the Cardinals taking on the 49ers. Obviously, the Niners with that big loss to Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, and I feel like, I'm going to say it, the Cardinals, they're going to get their first win of the season here, man. This is the last time I'm picking the Cardinals, man. If they don't get a win here, I'm done picking them, okay? I'm finished. But you know what? They're going to get the win here. David Johnson's finally going to get things going. And the Cardinals, they'll be 1-4, finally going to get that first win. An NFC Championship rematch. And it's actually kind of funny. I saw earlier this week on NFL Network, This is like the second time in NFL history, I think it was, that a team that played in the NFC Championship and they had a rematch the next season where both teams had different starting quarterbacks. Obviously, you know, the championship game, we had Case Keenum going against Nick Foles. Now we've got Kirk Cousins going against Carson Wentz. So this will be an interesting matchup to see. And this is going to be an interesting game here. I feel like I'm going to have to go with Minnesota. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I mean, the Eagles, obviously, they're not as good of a team as they were last year. They've got a couple of struggles right now, and I think it's going to continue this week. They're not going to win at home this week, and I feel like the Vikings are going to... the Vikings aren't going to go 1-3-1, okay? I think the Vikings definitely will get the win here. They'll be 2-1. Well, and back-to-back divisional games here. This is our third one. We've now got the LA Rams, 4-0, of course, going and traveling to Seattle, who are 2-2. And again, you know, like I've been saying, you know, divisional games are always very tough, and it doesn't really matter, you know, how good either side of the teams are and whatnot. Divisional games are always tough for both sides, but I think this is still kind of simple. We have to go with the Rams. I mean, Seahawks, I don't see it happening. They're not going to be able to stop the Rams. Doesn't matter if it's a home game for Seattle. Rams, they continue the undefeated season. They are going to be 5-0 after this week. Sunday Night Football is the Texas teams. We've got the Cowboys traveling to the Texans, and this one's going to be interesting to see as well. Obviously, the Texans finally got their first win of the season last week, so they're 1-3. Cowboys, you know, they're doing okay. Their defense is actually kind of decent, but their offense isn't very good. I mean, obviously, Dak Prescott, I still don't believe in him. I say it every single episode. I still don't think Dak's a good quarterback, but I'm going to have to go with the home team here, boys. I'm going to go with the Texans. They're going to get another win here. They're going to go 2-0 in back-to-back weeks. They're going to try and improve their record, and they're going to go on with the win here, and they're going to beat the Cowboys. They're going to be the better Texas team here on Sunday Night Football. And finally, last but not least, we have the Redskins taking on the Saints in Monday Night Football. And this should be a good one. I'm interested to see who's going to be the winner of this game. Obviously, you know, one thing to note is we've got Adrian Peterson. Could be somewhat of a revenge game, if you would like to say, because, you know, he was on the Saints for that very short period of time. They've got Mark Ingram coming back, of course, for the Saints, and I think that's what's going to do it. I think the Saints will get the win here. I don't see them losing to the Redskins. I think New Orleans will be 4-1 after this week. But there you guys have it. There are my predictions for Week 5 of the NFL regular season. If you guys didn't see it down below, I did forget to mention we do have two teams on a bye week this week. It is the Bears and the Buccaneers. But it is now time, of course, to go ahead and take a look at Madden 19's predictions and see who they are predicting to be the winners of this week's game. So for Thursday Night Football, of course, they chose the Patriots because they pick every single Thursday night game correctly. I think so far up to this year, they are 5 for 5. They've guessed every Thursday night game correctly. And I feel like the only way we're going to be able to pull ahead of Madden 19 and like our overall record throughout the entire, 16 or 17 week season is to actually match them and always pick the correct Thursday night game, which, so far we finally snapped that streak and we guessed correctly with the Patriots, obviously, this week. So that now leads us to our Sunday games, and this could go one of three ways after this week. We could either drastically pull ahead of Madden 19's record after this week, and we could be way ahead of them. It could be vice versa, and Madden 19's record could be way ahead of us, or we could still end things kind of, similar and still be around the exact same record, because as you guys are about to see the predictions here, they're almost completely different from what we chose. So I'm just going to show them all at one time to you guys instead of, dragging things on so you guys can just take a look at it. So obviously with two of my games here, I kind of went out on a limb, and I feel like the Jets and the Bills are going to be like the upset teams. They are going to get a win this week, which people probably don't predict things. But, like I said, I'm going out on a limb here. But Madden 19, they are choosing the Titans to win. They also have Pittsburgh beating the Falcons. They've got the Broncos beating the Jets. Now here's our one game that we are in agreement with. That is the Chiefs beating the Jaguars. After that, they're going with Detroit to beat Green Bay, which is kind of surprising. We've got they've got Cleveland beating my Ravens, which, I mean, they're just going against my Ravens every single week, which they're going to continue to be wrong on that prediction, obviously. We've got the Giants and the Panthers. Obviously, I chose the Panthers here, but they're going with the Giants, surprisingly. There is Miami and Cincinnati. Obviously, I kind of wanted to see Miami win this game, so they chose the Bengals, however. We've got the Raiders and the Chargers. Now, here we are in agreement, once again, that we both chose the Raiders to win this game. After that, we've got the Cardinals and the Niners. I want Cardinals. They are going Niners. We have the Vikings and the Eagles. They are going to be going with the Eagles. I chose the Vikings, obviously. We've got the Rams and Seahawks. I chose Rams. They are going Seahawks. We've got the Cowboys and the Texans. I chose Texans. They're going Cowboys. This is crazy, man. They are literally completely opposite on the picks that I chose. And last but not least, we do have Monday Night Football, and this is our third game that we did choose correctly, or we chose equally once again, and that is we have the Saints getting the win on Monday Night Football. But there you guys have it, man. This is an interesting week. Madden 19 is literally completely opposite on almost every single one of our picks, so it'll be interesting to see what the results are after the games this Sunday. But thank you guys all so much for watching, man. Hopefully all of you did enjoy. These are the actual predictions that you guys are seeing on screen right now of what Madden 19 actually did, so you guys can see that I'm not lying to you guys. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.